Do you want to do a quick run through of what
we're going to do today? The format today, we normally do a hypnosis bit. I pre-recorded something for those people who haven't had it. If haven't heard the thoughts one before, you've got something new to go to.
So in the meantime, if everyone wants to gauge their anxiety scales, 10 being high, 0 being
nothing.
So there was a few high scores there, just so everyone knows. So there are a few high scoring. So what is it that you're going to be looking at today, Derek?
Just allowing people to see what they're doing, really, because I mean, when people do this thing we're calling anxiety, they can believe when they get good at it, they can believe that everything makes you anxious. And it's a relief, and we can think, oh my God, that microphone makes me anxious, or that camera makes me anxious, but it can't. It's our thoughts. When you can see that, and notice what you're saying to yourself to keep yourself in that stuck state, because and if you question those thoughts and sort of recognize, is it true? Can I honestly know it's true? Is that thing really making me anxious? Probably not. But people get so used to that habitual thought. Oh God, the thought. My head went in that. What's the thought? And they believe it's true. So if you can notice, ask yourself, the best thing to do is really ask yourself those 3 questions. Those people, I tell them all the time on this group, is it true? Well, I've got the anxious feeling. Can I honestly know it's true? Yeah, I've got the anxious feeling. But where would I be without that stupid feeling or thought? How would I be? And just by changing that slight focus and going back on the beach over there, you can sort of allow your steps to go that way. I can't do it, so it goes backwards on it.
It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, so in other words, notice how you're breathing. When people do this thing we're calling anxiety, their breathing will be quite crappy. It may be like they're going, or just slightly like that. And you'll hear loads of things about, everyone tells you to do this sort of breathing, that sort of breathing, all that sort of breathing. The easiest breathing you can do is this. Don't remember what it is. It's like 3 and 5 out or 12 sideways. The easy thing to do is to remember breathing in, hold the breath, and then imagine a little candle in front of you, but don't blow the candle out.
So do you want to go through the breathing technique?
So the breathing technique, so you take a deep breath in, hold the breath, imagine a little birthday candle right about here, and exhale through your mouth very slowly. Imagine, but do not blow that candle out. If you're blowing the candle out, obviously, you're going to get stressed. But notice a subtle difference when you do that a few times. Also, you can do it longer if you like.
Me?
Yeah.
Right.
You can be like guinea pigs. So you take a deep breath in. That's it. Hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. Imagine a candle there. And as you're exhaling now through your mouth, very slowly, just imagine that candle flickering. And if you're doing it too fast, that candle's going to flicker. You're going to get stressed or whatever.
It does help.
It will help. And then just do it another couple of times so your mind remembers. Don't forget your mind's remembered how to do that crappy breathing. Just try to do something else. And do another deep breath in. Hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath, hold the breath. And when you feel comfortable, you can let that breath out very, very slowly through your mouth, just like going to blow. Don't even blow the candle out. You're not blowing the candle out. You're just going to let go of that breath.
This is a good technique, isn't it, for bringing a bit of instant calm, and also I think centering yourself, isn't it? I think they use a lot of these practices in various things like yoga, and meditation.
It's the same sort of stuff under a different flavour. That's all. But then if you do that about 3 times, and notice the subtle difference. That's all, just a subtle difference. Because I mean, that's what we're aiming for—a little tiny difference. It's like a domino effect. Because when people get anxious, they tense their body. So notice how your body is physically. Just drop them shoulders. Like women come and see me, their shoulders like earrings. Just drop them.
Yeah, it's all about pose, isn't it, and stature, and how we hold ourselves as well.
That's how we hold ourselves, yeah. How you hold your body.
So when you do the breathing, relax the shoulders.
Yeah, and also open your mouth just slightly, not like a guppy. You do it casually so no one knows what you're doing, even in the supermarket. Because when people do that thing we're calling anxiety again, their mouth will be like this. And especially women, they have their tension. Just drop that jaw just slightly. By dropping that, it engages the parasympathetic nerves in the body, and it allows you to relax anyway without you having to think about it. But when you notice how you're doing it, you can take back control of it. So in other words, if you combine all those things, you open your mouth just slightly, just like that. Imagine the candle there, drop them shoulders. Oh, so much to remember. No. And then just imagine a little candle there, take a deep breath in, and then imagine a little candle there, but don't blow the candle out. And the slower you do it, the better it is. Because whenever you smoke cigarettes, you may be reminded how to do that. Another good technique is this. So let's assume you've managed to do that, yeah? And it's gone down a little teeny bit. Even if it's gone down by 2, it's good. But the best thing is to notice it was 8 before or whatever, and now it's probably gone down to about a 7. I'm hanging on to that thing to dear life. But seriously, you don't have to be relaxed. Notice that screen behind me, and don't demand to be relaxed. Just allow yourself to be relaxed. There's a difference. My head's doing that thing.
If you look, the water's moving.
I know the water's moving, so it's a movie. As you focus on that calm water behind you now, notice how you feel. Perhaps remember a time when you were there. Imagine being on that beach with those waves coming in and out. And just by focusing on something different, you can get a different result. So when people are anxious, they imagine the worst case scenarios and they're going la 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 la. If you disrupt the pattern of it, it won't work so effectively. And people say, can it be that easy? Well, it can, but people can overcomplicate it with their thinking. So the next thing we would do is this. This is a great technique. If anyone's got a pen, you've got a pen handy or something you can or a TV or a remote control or something you can put in your hand. And let me put that thing up like that so we can see them.
Yeah.
And what you do is this. You've got a pen. So what you do is you get a pen or an object, yeah? And you think about that anxiety thing that's happening in your body, whatever, and you give it a number, and you focus on the pen or the object, yeah? But you keep your head still, and you don't do the Wimbledon head shuffle. You focus on the pen, and as you move the pen to side while still just following with your eyes there, you can think about that thing that's causing you anxiety at the same time. And what happens is, Roy's doing it as well there. What happens is you're using more of your brain on the same thing, using both hemispheres on the brain, as opposed to one toxic one doing like negative trance around anxiety and all that sort of garbage.
So the head is still.
The head is perfect. My eyes are following the top of that pen. And breathe while you're doing it as well. It's quite good. Breathing's free. No. And then check in. What's it like now? Has it gone slightly down? Oh, it's different. If it hasn't, what are you doing to keep it the same? What are you saying to yourself? I say, well, it won't go. It won't go. You don't have to force these things to go. Just allow it. Notice that subtle change. Then another thing you do is this. When people worry, there's certain bits linked to the hand that cause us to worry. And it's usually the thumb. So if you grab your thumb, this may seem crazy, but doing anxiety is a bit nutty, really, if you think about it. Such a way. I mean, I don't do anxiety, so I refuse to do that game no more. It's just too stressful for me. I can't do anxiety. So what you do is you think about that. Think about the thing that makes you anxious and grab your thumb, the dominant hand. So as you grab that, notice the difference. How's it going? That's what people think, because they've got to have some meaning on it. It's not that.
What is it then?
It's not a distraction technique either. That part there is linked to the part that does the worry in the brain. Another thing is if the index finger here is linked to panic. So if you grab your index finger and try to panic now. If you clear the screen, so what I suggest to my clients is this. Think about that thing that makes you panic, And what people tend to do is it's like they go down that same old path, the same old path, same old path. But if you can imagine the thing that makes you panic and just bring the panic back, grab the thumb or grab the first index finger, and now you're disrupting it. So you're bringing it back, you're taking it away. Bring it back, take it away. Bring it back, take it away. Then just try and bring it back. It becomes harder, not like, well, it's like going down a different pathway. Because what happens is that the mind, neural chemistry does the same old stuff, then we go down the same old path, and you're disrupting it by doing something different. So if you're having panic and anxiety, there's a good one. You go, the man with the golden gun, you grab both those two, the index finger and the next finger. You do that a minute if anything makes you feel panicky. And then think about things that makes you feel panicky and just do that.
How long for?
Well, just only a couple of seconds. It's not,
right.
You know what I mean?
In that moment.
In that moment, so whatever it is. Say, I only frightened leaving the house, whatever, just do that. Then let go. Then bring it back.
Is it worth remembering these are just quick fixes for?
No, it's the way I'm looking at people. When people do stuff, the anxiety is so familiar. You're disrupting the pattern. So I mean, and ask yourself, how would you like to be in that situation? People never even consider it. You know, I say to people, "What is it you want?" I don't want that horrible feeling in my chest and stomach. No, so what is it you want? And no one's even considered it.
No.
But seriously, consider how you'd like to be in those situations. So now, if you check in, what's it like now? Is it slightly different? Just give me a thumbs up. Just slightly different. We're not looking for a magic change. Or hang on a second. If it's all the same, give me the thumbs up too. So now you're feeling slightly better. Ask yourself, how did you do that? So you thought, and how you did it was you thought about something different for a split second. Because I was watching this video this morning about people do things that are so familiar, and the familiarity can keep us stuck. Even like having a bar of chocolate, it feels so familiar. We don't want to do that, and we go, "Oh God, it feels familiar, so I'll do it." And same thing with anxiety too. It feels so familiar that sometimes people think, well, I can't get out of this, and I've been told I've got this, that, and the other. But when you break it up, I say, how do you like to feel in that situation that's different or unfamiliar? And so unfamiliar would be feeling relaxed and feeling calm. And what would that be like if you were relaxed and calm? How would you know if you were relaxed and calm? Even though you can still have those whirling thoughts, yeah? And see yourself in a different perspective, your visual, that is. So see yourself like the Russian doll technique. A lot of you done the Russian doll technique, and a lot of you, apart from Tammy, I think. Because all the Russian doll technique is almost like, it's like any technique you've ever experienced, I believe. Anything you've done that you got yourself out of your own way, you're seeing yourself in a different position. In fact, we'll give you a quick Russian doll excerpt, if you like, because I think it's really beneficial. It's a Russian doll technique. But it was a bit more than that. I'm just saying that for you, Tammy. It's like, because when people are doing their issues, yeah, they're like in this tiny Russian doll. They can't move forward, they can't move back, and they feel struck. And they forgot how powerful they are. They really have. Because I mean, your resources will get you out of where you are. So we can do it sat down if you like. So I want you to remember a time in your life you felt, in fact, we'll work backwards. Yeah, work backwards. Remember a time in your life you felt really good. Yeah. A time in your life you felt strong. You can close your eyes if you like, so you're not staring at our mug shots. And as you close your eyes, just imagine a time when you felt proud of yourself. It could be a time when you had your kids, a time when you had a pet or something, a time when you felt really good. And when you've got one, just nod your head. Yeah. And as you imagine that event now, just notice what you could see. Notice how it felt like being in that event. And imagine it's almost like you're in a large Russian doll, however that is for you. You can imagine being taller, perhaps with more perspective. Imagine that large Russian doll is almost like the size of the Empire State Building. And as you get into that and really fully absorb in that, just noticing how all the space around you feels, but also notice how your thinking is starting to calm down if you can associate inside that large Russian doll. And I want you to remember all the times in your life when you've been, I don't know, proud of yourself. Just 3 of them, if you like. Just 3 events, even you pass your driving test, or a time you passed some sort of course. A time when someone said they loved you, and you felt loved, and you felt good. So here we can hear, see we can see, as if you're there right now. Make it bigger. Turn the volume up if you can hear the stuff. Turn the quality of the picture up in your mind, or the image, and just pretend what that was like as you allow your mind to remember what it felt like to feel good, to feel on top of the world, to feel happy. And then get a third image if you like, or a sound or a feeling, whatever it is for you, a time you felt really good. And as you imagine that in your mind's eye, a time you feel really good, very proud. Notice that version of you out there. Make the images really big. Imagine you're in a multiplex theater of your mind and you're feeling quite calm there. And just see the first image that you imagined earlier on that screen out there, in Technicolor, if you like, with that visual, a bright image of you. Make the image really big, massive on that screen, the time where you really liked life or whatever. And as you associate into that image on that screen now, just imagine jumping inside that image in your own unique way. There's no wrong way or right way of doing this. Just to even have the sensation of jumping inside that image of you out there. Almost like when you pair a pair of trousers and the trousers fit you so well. And as you jump in that image of you out there, just notice how you feel. Just tell yourself how you feel. Then I want you to imagine stepping into the next image, almost like Velcroed to the side of the other one. The second image of you, a time when you felt good, could be with your family or your kids or pets. So see what you can see. Here we can hear, as if you're there right now, in your mind's eye, jumping inside that image with all the qualities, and just feel that love, that joy, that happiness, that sense of warmth. But notice how you're breathing in that image. Notice how you're breathing. Notice how your shoulders are. Notice how your mouth is, probably slightly opened, as you recall that time when you felt comfortable, you felt relaxed, you felt chilled, you felt really in control. Then I want you to really fully absorb in that. Then go to the third image. The third image could be any image of your choice. It could be a time now when you felt really good in the past, a time when you felt confident, a time when you with your family or friends. Make that image really big and powerful. And just see yourself in that position, in your mind's eye, with all you could see, all you could hear, and how it really felt like to be in that situation. And then now, I want you to construct another image, an image of you how you want to be in the future, an image of you how you want to be against this anxiety type feeling. It's an image of you taking control, whatever that means for you. An image of you being so strong and so you, really. A time in your life when you got really annoyed, a time in your life when you took back control, a time in your life when someone really peed you off, you're like, I'll sod this, and step into your power, not as an angry person, but a person who doesn't apologize to himself and says, oh, sorry for this, sorry for that. You just own it. A time you felt so good and so powerful in yourself that you thought, no way, Jose, this is it. A time when you didn't take any prisoners, a time when you stood up for somebody, but a time when you stood up for yourself. And as you hear that now, just imagine stepping inside that fourth image of you out there with that self-belief, that confidence, because you are a confident person. And people can sort of deny they're not, but they are. You got out of bed today, you dressed yourself. There's those things you can do. You walk, you talk. And look at the other things you can do. You can learn, and you can unlearn anxiety too, as you see it from a different perspective, as recognizing it's just an emotion that's almost like trying to control you in some way. And from that new perspective now, step inside that image number 4 in your mind's eye with all you could see and how it feels like there, owning your power, your personal power. That power that you just know. Like when you drive a car, you just know to drive the car. Thinking is not involved. But as you know that version of you now, make that image of you in your mind's eye bigger and bigger, an unstoppable version of you, like a superhero. And as you see that version of you now, just notice how you feel. And as you make that image even bigger and brighter now, just open your eyes. And I want you to imagine that version of you who came on this Zoom call today with all that anxiety. And imagine like a little tiny version of that person in there doing all that anxiety, oh, panicky, panicky, panicky. And I want you to imagine that version of you now. I think Roy's gone to sleep. And I want you to imagine, are you in there, Roy? And I want you to, so as you imagine now that version of you now in that large Russian doll, imagine under your foot right now is that version of you doing all that anxiety and all that worry, blah, 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 blah. Then I want you to imagine it's like that represents a tiny little grape, a little grape that represents all that anxiety. And I want you to physically crush that grape with one of your feet while closing your eyes and imagining that image number 4. So as you close your eyes now and just physically crush that grape with your foot, stamp it in the ground. When it's gone, just nod your head. Good. And now open your eyes and try and get back that little dreamy little tiny Russian doll doing all the anxiety a few minutes ago. Don't work so well, does it? Yep. Then I want you to imagine now going into another Russian doll. This is like a medium-sized Russian doll. And taking all the good qualities you created from that large one and put it into this medium-sized Russian doll. However you do it, it's fine. It's good to close your eyes as you're doing it. So as you close your eyes, just imagine all the qualities you imagined a minute ago in that large Russian doll. Image number 1, image number 2, image number 3, and image number 4. However you imagine them, there's no right way or wrong way. Just get some sort of quality on them. Maybe turn the volume up, the dial up. Feel the feelings if you're there right now. And then as you're doing that now, just tell yourself how you feel in your mind's eye. Notice that subtle difference as you really absorb into image number 4. And just tell yourself how you feel. Just feel that love, that joy, that happiness. Could be family or pets, and feel that love and just notice how powerful you feel from that position. Then I want you to imagine under your foot right now is a little frozen pea that represents the last remnants of that fear that you had back in that little tiny Russian doll. And I want you to use all the qualities from the large Russian doll and the medium-sized Russian doll onto that little tiny frozen pea and physically crush it with your foot as you physically move that foot now, crushing it all the way to the floor. Crushing it, pushing it all over the floor. When it's gone, just nod your head. Good. And try and get back that feeling you used to have back in number 1. Doesn't work so well, does it? And now, go back into position number 1. Close your eyes and imagine you can use all the resources from the large Russian doll, the medium-sized Russian doll, and the tiny Russian doll onto the little half of frozen pea under your foot that leaves that bit of skepticism. Can I really get rid of stuff that easy? Can it be that easy? Or is it, yeah, it's all in your mind. As you crush that little tiny thing there, the little half a pea with your foot, physically crushing it in the ground, don't ruin your carpet, and then when it's gone, just let me know. Is it different or is it the same? If it's this, oh, that's good, good. So how did you experience that? You can unmute yourself and just give me a little.
Well, I feel calmer.
Who said that? Joe. Oh, that's good. Huh.
Yeah.
When I'm in the large Russian doll, I always feel a glow.
You feel
Like
a glow.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Like a good feeling, you mean?
warmth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a protective sort of
Yeah.
vibe. Yeah.
Like not a little, you know, but a big calming. I'm like in a big calming room.
Yeah.
So how did you experience that, Tammy? Oh my God, they've asked me a question.
More relaxed.
But say again?
More relaxed.
Good.
Good. So I'll show you how powerful your mind is. I've done this in this group anyway, but it's like, notice the subtle difference. If you close your eyes, yeah, I'm going to say these words, yeah? Hope, hope, I hope, I hope, I try, I try, I try, I can't, I can't, I can't. Now listen to these ones. I will, I will, I will, I can, I can, I can, I am, I am, I am. Notice the subtle difference?
Well, I really noticed a big difference,
Hmm.
you know, in my body and my breathing.
Even the word try, I can't stand the word try, it's hideous. I'm sure Roy knows it. When you put your hand out like this, yeah, and you say the word try, you put your hand out, I'll show you.
Oh, well, let's see it. Hang on.
Yeah, I can see it now. Now just tell yourself the word try, but really say the word try. Yeah?
Try.
And make that arm as strong as you can.
It's not very good with me.
Watch,
I haven't got
watch.
very strong arm.
Say it, but keep saying the word
Sorry.
I'm trying, I'm trying,
I'm
I
trying.
can't, I hope.
I hope.
Hand goes down. Right now.
That's just because I'm weak. And
No, you're not. Do it again. And now say to yourself, I will,
I will.
can,
I can.
I'm strong,
I'm strong.
I'm capable,
I'm capable.
I'm more than capable.
I'm more than capable.
Now watch.
True. Yeah. And I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I think why is that?
Because everything you say has a visceral feeling in your body. It's almost like your mind. They say like there's a heart mind, there's a gut mind, and also a.
Yeah, it's the brain, isn't it?
It's the brain.
There's an intuitive brain, isn't there? Because a lot of the work I do, I talk about the intuitive brain, don't I? As well as the logical brain.
Yeah.
So with my psychic stuff or what I sense about people,
Mhm.
it's very similar. But I was going to say about affirmations, Derek.
Oh yeah, affirmations. Yes.
Affirmations are really important. I'm a big believer in that. And what we say, we get.
No, not so much that. I believe what we can program our minds to feel strong. We can program it to feel weak. I'm not saying you can program your mind to do like, oh, I win the lottery and stuff like that. That's a load of garbage. I don't believe in the law of attraction. I believe the law of action. You know, because that's like wishful thinking. The world will be lovely, lovely, lovely.
Can I just say?
I know. Oh God.
Affirmation journal. I've been using it 2 weeks already. 3 of the things I've put in that have happened.
And do you know why? Do you know the science? Do you know the science behind
Because
that?
I asked the universe.
Oh no. I like to be realistic. So the thing is, what happens there? Has anyone here bought a new car? And they studied that new car for weeks. They search the model, they search the make, they search the color, they search aircon, flashy wheel trims and stuff like that. And suddenly you're in traffic. And lo and behold, oh my God, there's one in front of you, there's one behind you. They're every friggin' where. Do you know why? It's called the reticular activating system in the brain. It's got this little thing that goes on high alert and it notices what you just told yourself you're focusing on. By the same token, if you're focusing on being anxious and worried and stuff, you'll notice everything on Facebook's got to do with anxious. You'll notice all celebrities have got anxiety too. And you think, oh God, and then you notice that. And everyone seems to have panic attacks and stuff like that. See what I mean?
Yeah, but what's that got to do with the affirmations? Then?
But the affirmations, you actually program your mind to notice what you want to notice.
But honestly,
but no, the only affirmations I believe though is this: if you say to yourself, the ones that work though are these. If you say "I am that I am," and then put a sentence at the end of it, because then you'll program your mind for success. You actually program on what you want, because it becomes like a statement of fact. I am that I am. But you can say I am that I'm confident, and the mind doesn't give that it doesn't disagree with you. It becomes a statement of fact because you told yourself I am that I am. Well, when people come to see me, what do they say? I'm anxious, I'm worried, I'm a worrier. No, you're not a worrier, you're so-and-so. I'm Derek, pleased to meet you, worrier. Do you know what I mean? You become an identity. It's not your identity. Get rid of that shit. It's not your anxiety. Start owning it. And stop saying that bad language. Now. But seriously, we become what we tell ourselves we are. We say, I'm a worrier. Because my mum told me I was a worrier. I hear those people, it's like, there's a hand-me-down belief, and they start speaking for the person, we get lazy. So your brother and sister will speak up for you. I'm a worrier, and they'll speak for you. You know what I mean? Basically, the most important thing is when like I said, the recap we've done so far, the most important thing is the breathing, seriously, and your body posture. So the A, B, and C. The A reminds you to remind yourself arm. Arm reminds you of body. So A, relax your body. B, do the breathing. Now the breathing, you can't get wrong. As long as you go, hold it in and blow out slowly, very slowly through your mouth. Imagine the candle there, and do not blow the candle out. Do about 3 or 4 times. You do that, you learn to live from that position. Also, the D, there's a D at the end of it. So A, B, and C. The C is the word calm. Yeah. A, relax your body. B, do the breathing. And as you're doing the third one out, or when you got good at blowing it out, and you really get into that thing, there's like a rhythm. You just know it's right as you allow yourself to really relax, and it's almost like there's like a warm sort of glow in your stomach. Oh, that's really quite calm. And you go in with that. Then say the word calm. And the D is this. The D is a dot, peripheral vision. Roy. So imagine you stare at a dot just above your eye level now, over there. Let's say. You could be, if you're on a camera, on a laptop, stare at the camera, just above the camera, like about 3 or 4 inches. And then you do this with your fingers the very first time, like those little kitties cycling by. And you stare at the top of your fingers whilst putting your fingers as far wide as you can, and I'm staring at that dot at the same time. So what you're doing, you're expanding what you see. When you expand what you see, it's very difficult to go back in that toxic mindset where all the anxiety lives. So then you drop the hands down, you imagine the walls on either side of you because your mind's that quick, you just remembered how to do that, and you stare at a dot. And as you stare at that dot, could be in your front room, whatever, and as you're expanding what you see, you can still see outside of here, imagine the walls on either side of you. I defy you to go back in that same old toxic trance you do on a daily basis. Because when you do that, it's a very calm place to be. You got your eyes closed. You can have your eyes open.
Just relaxing.
You got your eyes open.
Hearing your voice.
Okay. You can have your eyes open for that bit. So in other words, you can do it during the day. So imagine if you leave your house, if you're staring at an object over there, and you can imagine the walls outside, everything becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So you got so much space to think, rather than having narrowed. When people do that thing of agoraphobia, the walls go in, and I feel claustrophobic. If you expand what you see, you'll feel safer anyway. And in other words, when people play that thing of they think their house is so comforting, another one like, I can't leave my home because it's like a comfort zone. No, it's bloody not. Same bricks as if the building you're going to. There's no difference. Oh my God, really? I should be anxious everywhere then? No, you don't have to be. It's just our mind plays tricks on us. It's like a familiar thing. I get pains with the anxiety. Is there any way to stop them?
Okay. Are they chest pains then, or?
Chest pains or stomach, chest pain. That's fear. Because all hypnosis is if people can imagine themselves being frightened of something that's not real out there, they're a great hypnotic subject. It's not my hypnosis, it's their hypnosis. Mm-hmm. So who's hypnotizing them? I wasn't even there. Mm. The guy with the plane, I wasn't there. How can the plane make him anxious? It's not me. Mm. I mean, hypnosis allows people to feel this relaxing, comforting feeling while you're in that shitty thing. Then you can change. But if you have that horrible feeling while you're doing this, there's a problem. So
for Sammy then, would you say Sammy, breathing techniques would be good for that?
Not necessarily, no. Just be realistic. In other words, if you have a pain, you can either escalate that thing and get some. The only person who can reassure you really is you. It's not like, because people they get on this paranoia thing and, oh my God, what this pain, all this, and you start doing that shit. The only person who can really reassure you is you. Have you got a pain in your chest? Yeah. and you've been to hospital like every 20 minutes, ring up A&E, and you go in there for 2 minutes and you just do a brief. I've had people come and see me and they've said, I'm in A&E at the minute having a panic attack. And I hate those 2 words. I should ban them from the human language. It's terrible. Those 2 words together make my hands come out clammy, and I'm quite calm. So be careful what you wish for, because you often get it. So they go to hospital, I'm having a consultation with someone, and I said, okay, just do the A, B, and C. And I think 20 minutes later, that person got back to me and said, oh, by the way, I'm just checking out of A&E. Because it wasn't a panic attack. They were just focusing on their chest or focusing on the stomach, and the walls drop away. You know, do the opposite to what you're doing. If you've got pain in your chest, ask yourself, is that pain, what's that pain mean? It could be anything. It could be like, I don't know, a bit of indigestion. But some people are so used to having that negative thought, they go, oh my God, I'm going to die. No, you're alive. Just check out, am I alive right now? Yeah, I'm alive. You know, and deal with it. Do you know what I mean? If you say to yourself, deal with it, it'll stop that train of thought.
I meant to say, do you think it's the mind-body connection thing?
Of course it is. There's more neurochemistry in your gut and in your brain. It has a biofeedback. So when people have the IBS frame, and if they have anything in the abdominal thing, they'll go, oh, must be, oh my God, I'm worried. You know what I mean? And they have a little feedback. What does that mean? And we make meaning on it. And it's usually negative, because we have, out of the 60,000 thoughts a day, about 50,000 are probably negative. They are. And then people wonder why they're anxious, because their thinking is negative. They have these feelings in the body. They've told themselves, I am a worrier. They've told themselves, I panic. They've told themselves what they can't do. Then they suddenly become a victim of the thinking. There's no reality in it. It's just a feeling or a thought all the time. But when we've got a feeling in our chest or stomach, the burger brain goes, oh my God, this is real. I've got a feeling in my stomach. It's just no big deal. Eventually that feeling will pass. It's almost like having a hiccup. They go eventually. But if you go, I need to beat those hiccups, get rid of those hiccups, get rid of those hiccups, I'm having a panic. No, they'll probably stay. But if you focus on something completely different, like, you know, shopping, or I don't know, a good movie or something, you change that train of thought. It's your thinking that keeps all this stuff alive. So ask yourself, when you've got that pain in your mind, what are you saying to yourself? I'm going to die. It's going to kill me. Do you say anything do you put any drama on, like more paraffin on the fire? So when clients come and see me, I do the complete opposite. You know, I would say, oh my God, I got a feeling in my chest. I would say, oh my God. I would say, oh, I'm just having that feeling again. And eventually it will go. If I try to do some breathing, it may not work. Doesn't mean to say the feeling will stay. But if I can, I don't know, play with Strawberry, the hamster, or just do something different. Or get up and move. If you move, you're changing your state anyway. Notice how you are in those situations. People will go like this. They go, oh my God. They go, woe is me. Oh God, I'm being. It's like a poltergeist in my chest. No, it's not. Get up and do something different. Otherwise, you're going to become a victim of those thoughts. It's like a habitual thing. So, how would you like to be in those situations? And in other words, if your mind can conjure all those garbage up, it can also do something else. And I'll tell you this for fact, when people do anxiety, they've got the best imaginations in the entire world. They have. They always imagine the worst shit that's going to happen. True? Or is that false? That is fact, isn't it? I mean, how many times have you seen yourself die in shreds and stuff like that? Many times in those horror movies, you know? So if your mind is that powerful, you can also flip it. And I discovered this when I went for that MRI scan. I've seen so many negative suggestions from people who go, oh my God, an MRI, I feel so claustrophobic and shit like that. Well, I listened to a few of them and nothing really phases me until I had to go to the MRI scan. And I thought, oh my, it was in St. Hugh's, and you're waiting there. You're sort of, I would say, mildly concerned. That's sort of not stressed. And it's my turn to go to the MRI, to go in the scan machine, And they close your door, blah, blah, blah. All the loud noises going in there. Brrr, barely hear what they're saying. A faint little speaker on their thing. And my mind's racing, going, oh my God, this is a bit frightening. As I looked up, and the ceiling's about that big from my eyes. And I thought, I've waited 6 months to get this thing done. There's no way I'm gonna press that button. She told me there's a panic button here. What a suggestion. Shit, please. You know what I mean? My mind's going panic. Well, I didn't even thought about panicking until she suggested that. And I'm calm. So imagine somebody who's doing that frame of anxiety. What are they going to read into that? But I'm going to give you some news here today, or some insight, how I managed to get through that day. And I did the same thing when I went to the dentist. So I closed my eyes. I thought, oh God, it's really claustrophobic in here. But if your mind is that creative, you can imagine the worst case scenario, like, oh my God, there could be an earthquake and I could be stuck in this machine and there could be a power cut and all that sort of garbage, and those people might die or have a heart attack out there and I'm lost in this the rest of my life, that sort of stuff. You can also use it to your advantage. So I think I've told this somewhere else, but seriously. So I closed my eyes, and see that scene in front of you there? I imagined I was in a wonderful scene like that. I imagined that I'd won the lottery, and that normally to go into that machine, it regenerates your mind and body. I knew for the next, let's say, it could be 30 minutes, that this machine would regenerate my mind and body. And I'd feel super duper confident, enlivened, and happy. And as I closed my eyes, and I made out, it cost £50,000 to get that, win the golden ticket to get in this machine. As I closed my eyes, I just made it as real as I could. I survived. I'm here to tell the story. And it was after that thing, they were just going, can you hear me? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I could stay in there for another 10 minutes, to be honest, because I allowed myself to relax.
My first MRI, terrible.
You had to do an MRI, yeah? You had to do an MRI, did you say?
Yeah, well, I have to have one every so often.
How did that go?
Were terrible, absolutely terrible.
And why? What were you imagining?
Just that it was closing in on me, and all I could see were the things. So now,
best thing to close your eyes.
Yeah, put myself on a virtual beach, like one of the virtual holidays. And if I can hear the thumping of the machine, because they're not even allowed to give you earphones now because of COVID, I just sat into the sound of a ship.
Yeah, I do. I'm like in a womb if I hear that stuff. Really safe and almost like going to a childlike quality. I feel so safe and comforted. And every time I hear that loud noise, it reassures me that people are out there, and if anything happened, they could just break at any time, do you know what I mean? Or whatever. Seriously,
I haven't had problems, and yet first one, it got me into such a state.
It used to get you in a state, yeah, but it doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And then once you do it once, your mind goes, oh, I've done that once, I can do it again. Because when you think, well, you would think the brain is sophisticated, but it's really not. I mean, out of every species in the entire world, we're the only ones that worry. Animals don't. Look at a dog when it doesn't worry about another dog until the dog's there. But human beings go, oh my God, there's a big dog there, there's a big dog there. The dog just go, no. Big dog, now it worries. Throw him a ball, completely forget about that big dog. We ruminate too much. But you've got to recognize that if we're human beings, we always ruminate. We cannot stop ruminating. But you can recognize if your mind is that capable of imagining all this garbage, by the same token, it can imagine something good. It really can, and no one's actually thought that. So I say to my clients, what does he want? Well, I don't want that horrible pain in my stomach and that horrible thing in my chest. Yeah, okay, so what is it you want? I want to be able to go out there, and they'll go back in the story, but I don't want to have that horrible thing happen. And I want to be able to do this, but I want to be able to I was negative, isn't it? So what's it you want? Well, I just want to be happy and I just want to be normal. That's usually it. And what would that feel like for you if you were just happy and just normal without putting any negative stance on it? Well, I will have those no, you will have those stupid thoughts. We all have them stupid thoughts. Doesn't mean anything about you. You will have those frightening thoughts, but you don't have to go into them. Just like the Russian doll thing, step out of it, step out of it, step out of it, and see yourself doing those nutty thoughts. And from that new perspective, what's it like now if you see yourself from a larger Russian doll in your own unique way, stepping back from that version of you that did all that worry? If I can't leave my house. That was a question for people who can't leave the house.
Oh, sorry.
So, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So from that new perspective, though, seriously, and you can step out that confident version of you, that powerful version of you, looking down that little tiny, like that, the Orville one. I wish I could fly. And if you hear that little sort of dweeby version of you down there, what's it like? That was you, Tammy. And how would you like to feel?
For me, I do go out. I have to go out. For me, I have to go out.
But you have to go out. Can you not enjoy it when you go out, though? That's the difference.
Oh, sure. Sometimes I do. It depends what atmosphere you're in at that time.
So atmosphere. So what? When you say atmosphere, does that involve different types of? If there's too many people that freak you out, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if I go to the supermarket, then I kind of want to know where the exit is.
I've seen those ones. Yeah, it's like so you're overprotecting yourself there.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about going to the supermarket, though, if it's at Asda's, it can be stressful anyway, or Tesco's. I hate them shops. You know what I mean? It is. It's like a free for all, isn't it? But I mean, it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable shopping experience anyway, especially Asda's or Tesco's on a Saturday at Cleethorpes. My God, it's like a rugby match. So you know,
Another example being in the car and being at the traffic lights and having to wait to go, you know, till it turns green. It's just feeling trapped, basically.
Okay. And the thing is, unless you update that, you'll always have that thing. So have you seen anybody about this before? CBT, counselling, that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Well, how did that go? Well, you have to say you here. So it's like, but the point being, yeah, when you're doing all that stuff, what's missing for you? Without saying, I don't know.
I don't know.
And you say, I don't know. So it's not a miraculous thing. It's not like that the poltergeist has got you. So in those situations, I guarantee something's missing for you. Or how would you like to feel in those situations then?
Well, wouldn't like to feel trapped.
No, but how would you like to feel? Do you see how you told me what you didn't want again?
Are you asking me to say normal?
No, whatever you say. No, whatever you say. Whatever. I'm not asking you to say anything. It's your words.
Just relaxed, I guess.
Relax. Okay. So if you recognize you're not relaxed in those situations, but in order to relax yourself and be in those situations, I mean, people's minds are very powerful. If your mind can sort of worry about all that stuff before you get there, which I'm pretty sure it does, doesn't it?
Not anymore. I have
so you've changed. So not
there
anymore.
was a time when I wouldn't go outdoors at all.
So how did you change that then?
I guess because I've had a lot of therapy in the past, I've got much better with it. But I still get where I feel trapped.
Okay.
I guess when you can go all around the supermarket and be fine because you're concentrating on what you need to buy. And when you get to the checkout and there's millions of people around you, then that's where my anxieties come in.
Okay, so can you see what you just said then? You said there's millions of people around you. Are there really millions of people? It's almost like a drama.
Yeah, exactly.
In your mind. Yeah. Oh my God, there's millions of people around me. I haven't been to a supermarket yet. There's millions of people around me.
Yeah, it's just you can't move. You're stuck.
You can't.
You're stuck in the aisle, waiting to pay for your shopping and such.
Okay, so what's missing for you in that situation then?
It's missing where you just can't be relaxed, I guess.
No. So what's missing for you that if you had, you could get out of that? What's the one thing you need in that thing?
If I had space.
If you had space? Okay, really? Is that true though? Because I mean, I've been in a telephone box with 3 people when I was a kid. It didn't really bother me. There was no space then. I imagine as a kid, you probably done stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there was no space then. So what's different now? It's just the belief you create on the way, I imagine.
Probably.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you do it all the time. But when if you think you've got to go to the supermarket and control the whole situation. I need to control this. I need to control that, and should do that. You know what I mean? That's when problems happen.
My problem. It's having to be. That's definitely my problem. I have to be in control.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't control bugger all. No one can. And that's the illusion. When you try to control shit, that's when you have a problem. Because you can't control anything. You can stand in that room quite merrily and a jumbo jet can come out of the sky and you could all be crushed on this side here. I mean, the thing is about that, your one, it's like when you can feel comfortable in a tiny space, you've got it licked. But if you always got to put sort of like a rules and regulation, I must, or I should need that space, you're never going to have it. So it's not very realistic. But it's like when people come to see me, I say, it would be far better if you can feel comfortable in your uncomfortableness, then you know you got it. But if you've got to put certain rules, and I can't go here, I can't do that, and this must happen, all this musting, that must, it'll never happen for you. And we get stuck by our own hallucinations.
Yeah, for me, it's different now. There was a time when I wouldn't go outdoors at all, but you know, life around you have to do things. So responsibilities. So I have to do these things regardless.
It'd be good if you did them and you enjoyed them without having that fear.
Exactly.
Because that is a choice, it really is. But you can have a choice to do it. And I can make it sound so easy, but the thing is, you're restricted by what you said. There's rules and regulations over your one. I must do this. It must all this. I must be certain. And be like, I can imagine it. Do you know what I mean? You create so many rules that to make yourself feeling safe, it keeps you trapped.
Yeah.
So it's not, if you can update those rules a bit and break some of your rules, I wonder how much better you get on. So how did you get on? Okay. Scores on the doors. That's 0. Well done. So this is the last. Zoom one we've got. Live Zoom, but if the lockdown happens, we'll do another one. That's if people need it. But the next one we got is on the 3rd of July in here.
So yes, well, I think what you're saying was the Be Calm event, which originally started here just before lockdown, will begin again on July 3rd. It's going to be a little bit of a launch event as well. So we're going to have food, and we'll order some stuff in, won't we?
Yeah.
So it'll be a little bit of a get together as well, but we'll integrate the Be Calm session, which will be 90 minutes into that in person while you're here. So anyone who's interested in that, Derek will make links available shortly to pre-book and attend that if you
so we know numbers.
wish.
Yeah.
But also we will still be doing some online work. And I know obviously Roy attends the therapy online stuff that you tend to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, the awesome mentoring one.
So I think you'll be planning some of those, won't you, again?
Possibly got that one, those 2 clients I mentioned that.
Yeah, so I think there will still be some online stuff that we'll do. It's just all going to be based around where we are with our lives and lockdown. But
Yeah, people I'm seeing lots of clients, Roy. It's getting around to that awesome therapy thing.
Yeah, but I think if people can come in person, then that's great because they get to experience, obviously, firsthand the techniques and be a part of things with other people. So,
and to experience real hypnosis, not just scriptnosis. It's like you actually go in a trance. I mean, don't forget, when people come and see me, they're in a trance. And I put them in another one, a nicer one. You know, that's all it is really. But you'll know you're there because you just know. Anyway, nice to see you all. Nice to meet you, Tammy. Nice to see you again, Roy and Joe and Julie.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Yeah,
we really appreciate you taking your time to be with us and make this happen every month. But we'll look forward to seeing some of you in person and some of you online again when we next come back online.
Yeah. Okay. So ciao for now. Bye.